What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. And in today's Tier List Tuesday, we are ranking every single MLB team's spring training hat for this year. I decided to try something new. I figured since spring training kicked off this past weekend, why not rank every hat from every team? And guys, when I go into this, I am ranking it strictly because of the design, no favoritism, no bias, nothing. So let's get into this ranking, and also let's go Bucks. All right, guys, we have all 30 hats in front of us. So without further ado, let's go through the categories that we are ranking these in. At the top, we have the S tier, which is also known as Wood Cop. Automatic buy, I would buy it regardless. Following that, we have A, B, C are traditional letters. And then at the bottom, we have D, trash, the worst of the worst, garbage. But let's get into this ranking. I don't know much about baseball, but I am definitely a Pittsburgh Pirates fan, even though they suck. But let's rank some hats. So kicking it off is the Arizona Diamondbacks hat. And I honestly love the colors on this. It's really cool. I love how they're using the blue in this, even though I think this blue is like their tertiary or like their secondary color. Really cool, reminds me of their City Connect hat. But for the Arizona D-backs, I'm going to give this an A. I really like it. It gets me that spring vibe. Following the Diamondbacks, we have the Athletics. The A's, I don't know. I feel like there's too much yellow going on. The base of the hat is yellow, as you guys can see here. And then the brim is green, which is cool. But then the logo, I feel like I said, there's too much yellow going on. So for the D-backs, I'm going to give it a C. It's definitely not trash. I don't think any of these hats are trash, looking like at a glance right now. But I'm going to put it at a C. I just don't think it's good. Wait, on second note, I'm just glancing real quick. I'm putting it in trash. I don't think it's that good. I don't like the yellow on yellow. I like the yellow and green combo, just yellow on yellow doesn't mix. But following them, we have the Atlanta Braves. And I don't know if it's just me, but red, white, and blue always look so clean. Might be because I'm an American and we love our red, white, and blue. But for the Braves, I'm going to give it a B. Very solid hat. And I think that's an appropriate ranking for Atlanta. But following them, we have the Baltimore Orioles. Where are we going to put the O's? Orange and black, you really don't see this combo much in all of sports. I can't think of any other team that's just orange and black. I think they are the only ones besides like the Giants in the MLB, which we'll talk about in a bit. But I'm going to give this a B. I feel like that's fair for the O's. And then coming up next, we have one of the most historic and iconic franchises in all of the sport. We have the Boston Red Sox. And it's pretty much the same as the Braves, which is kind of funny. Like, you guys can see, like, it's very close. All that's different is the logo, and then like the red is slightly different because it's Red Sox red, and then slightly different blue because it's Red Sox blue. But I'm gonna give it a B. I feel like it's basically the same, so that makes sense to me. So moving on, next we have an NL Central rival of my team. And I said earlier, I am not gonna be biased. I'm not gonna put the Pirates one in S. Spoiler alert, that's not my favorite on here. But moving on, I'm not going to hate on the Cubs hat. I think this captures spring really well. I love the different shades of blue on both. You can see on the base of the hat here, behind the logo, and then the brim with the dark blue, which we know the Cubs are iconic for that kind of blue. I'm going to put this one in B as well. I think that is an appropriate ranking for Chicago. But speaking of Chicago, let's go down to the south side and rank the White Sox hat. Black and white, clean combo. I think it's a nice looking hat, but it really doesn't give me spring training vibes. Maybe because they really can't do much because their colors are very generic, but I'm going to put the White Sox in C just because it doesn't scream spring training to me, and their colors are mid as hell. Following them, we have another NL Central rival of my Pittsburgh Pirates. We have the Cincinnati Reds. And I don't know. I like how the majority of these hats either have a flower on the side or a cactus, which is cool. But for the Reds, I'm gonna give it a C as well with White Sox. I feel like that's fair. I really don't like the red and black on this hat, but that's just me personally. So yeah, I think C works for the Reds, C for Cincinnati, C for the ranking of their team's hat. Coming up next, we have the Cleveland Guardians. I was actually at a Cleveland Guardians game back in August of 2024, where I met Rhea Ripley from My Wrestling Fans. The vlog will be in the link in the description if you haven't checked that out already. It's crazy that's almost been like 2 years ago now. But for the Guards, I'm going to give it a B. I have a soft spot for Cleveland ever since I've been to that game, at least for baseball. I just like their colors a lot. Like I said, who doesn't love the red, white, and blue? And I like the blue C here for Cleveland. Ever since they switched their name, I became a fan of the C. Not the name, but just the C part of their logo. Coming up next, we have the Colorado Rockies. And I absolutely love this hat. The purple looks so clean. The purple on Rockies uniforms just looks good always. And purple's my favorite color. And spoiler alert, I'm looking at all these other hats. I'm not a fan of all of them compared to this one. I'm putting it at S. I would cop this hat easily. Like I said, purple's my favorite color, and purple and black is my favorite combo in all of colors besides the black and yellow. But love purple and black. So we're going to put the Rockies in S wood cop. And guys, that's the only one that's going in there. Keep that in mind. Only one S. Like how we did the other tier lists a couple weeks ago and last week with the MGK videos. Yeah, there's only one S when we do these rankings. So with that being said, we have our S, we have some in A, we have some in B, we have some in C, and we have one in D. But next up is the Detroit Tigers. Another primarily orange hat. I'm not a huge fan. I'm going to give it a C. It's okay. I think that's like navy blue brim. It's just very hard to tell on this image, but I think it is navy blue because the Tigers colors are blue and orange. So I think that's what it is. But speaking of another orange hat, hopefully we get away from the orange for quite some time. But the Astros, they cheat. I'm not even going to talk about them. I don't like their hat either. See, it's not as bad as the Athletics though. That's pretty bad. Coming up next, Kansas City Royals. I love that blue. I'm going to put this Kansas City Royals hat in A. I just feel like it's very clean. It's kind of like the Cubs in a way, but I don't know. I just have a soft spot for the Royals colors. I think they just look really cool and makes sense for me, I guess, to put them in that category. You know what I mean? But coming up next, we have the Los Angeles Angels, and I like theirs. Theirs is pretty cool. It's simple, gets the job done, and it goes with other red and blue hats. I'm going to put this in B as well. It is a very good hat, or it's not a very good hat, but it's average. B is usually like our middle ground, so I think it works in the B tier. I don't think it moves up in A by any means, but it's cool. So yeah, we'll go with B. But up next, we have the other team in Los Angeles. We have the LA Dodgers, and it's cool with this hat because they do not use their primary logo for this. You guys can see they have the D logo here, and I honestly love this hat. It can't go in S, but I'm going to put it in A. It's really cool. It's very clean, and I think it captures spring really well for the Dodgers. You know what also goes very well with spring? The Miami Marlins hat. This is really cool as well. Love the blue. Love the logo choice here. Just looks really cool. Instead of using their normal M logo, I feel like this gets the job done for spring training this year. I'm going to put this right along with the Dodgers hat, and you guys are probably noticing a theme. Blue is my second favorite color, and the majority of the blue hats are in A. But yeah, Marlins, I'm going to put this in A. I feel like that's a good spot for it. Coming up next, we have the Milwaukee Brew Crew Brewers. And can't be biased. I told you I can't do it, even though I hate them. They're in my division for my Buccos. But this is a hat, you know what? I'm going to put it in B. I'm indifferent about it. I could put it in A, but it's like right at the borderline. I could put it like, if we had a middle ground here, it would be there. But I'm going to put it in B. For now, it might change if I go back and adjust this at the end of all the teams. But for now, I'm going to put it in B. Coming our way next, we have the Minnesota Twins. And this is another red and blue hat. And it's, oh, I did not want to put it in D. I did not want to do that. My fault. I'm going to put it in B. I feel like that's appropriate for them going along with the other red and blue hats. But the only difference with this is that the colors are inverted compared to the other ones. The blue is the primary and the red is the secondary. Coming our way next, we have the two New York teams. And the Mets are up first because this, like I said, is in alphabetical order. And for the Mets, with this little baseball guy, it's pretty funny. I don't know. It makes me laugh, but I don't know if I would like rank it like really high. I'm going to put it in C. I'm not a big fan of orange. That might just be me, but I'm not a big fan of like orange colored like clothing. I only have like one orange hat in my collection, and that's a Denver Broncos hat. But that's about it. I am not really obsessed over this hat, so I'm going to go C for the New York Mets. Coming up next, we have another historic MLB franchise, and we have the Yankees. Yankees are cool. At least their hat's cool. Their team sucks. I can't say much. So, sorry if you're a Yankees fan. But I like the blue with the white brim, and I don't know. Just the Yankees hat's so iconic, and I love the white brim. I'm going to put it in A. Really looks cool, and it's kind of like my favorite college football team's colors, the Penn State and Indy Lions. So, I don't know. I'm going to put it in A. But coming up next, we have the two PA teams, and we're starting it off with the Philadelphia Phillies. And spoiler alert, I hate Philly. If you're from Pittsburgh like me, you just know growing up that you gotta hate anything Philadelphia related. But colors are colors. And with that being said, the only time I'll probably rank something this high on a tier list for Philadelphia is their spring training hat this year. I love that red and blue. This is a better red and blue than any of the teams you see here, in my opinion. I love the blue brim. This reminds me of a 76ers hat I bought recently. I'll wear it. Oh, I actually wore it in a video. If you remember my MGK Lost Americana album ranking, I did wear that hat. Reminds me of that a lot. Really sick hat, and this is also a really sick hat. Coming your way next, we have my Pittsburgh Pirates. I'm wearing them all over in this ranking, but their hat, very indifferent for me. They're one of the three teams you guys can see here that have yellow as the primary color for it, and more that I see that hat, it's grown on me, and it also helps. I work at Lids, so I've seen this hat over and over again with customers buying it. I'm going to put it in A, and that is not biased, I swear. I just like the colors. Might be a little biased, but I like the yellow and black and the flower on the side. Really pops. And then these side patches are really cool on these hats, by the way. I forgot to mention that, but really cool little touch. Coming up next, we have the Padres, one of the other California teams located in San Diego. Shout out my boy Quickie. This is his favorite team, and Quickie, just for you, I'm putting it in C. I don't like yellow and brown. I feel like you guys should go back to like your blue and like white or whatever it was, throwbacks, or your City Connect colors would look perfect on a spring training hat, but missed opportunity for you guys. So suck it, Quickie. Suck it, boy. All right, coming your way next, we have another San Francisco team, and that is the Giants. And this is where I like black and orange. I don't like it as the primary color being orange. I like it as the secondary color, and I think the Giants do it well. I'm going to put them alongside the Orioles. I was going to put it in A. You guys saw me place it here, but I'm going to put it in B. I feel like that's fair. I feel like their orange is a little better than the O's, but it's definitely not an A hat in my opinion. But moving on up next, we have the Seattle Mariners. Fun fact, my buddy that I went to high school with, Cole Young, plays for the Seattle Mariners, so that's pretty cool. He's one of my baseball card PCs as well. But for the Mariners, I love the teal. I love the S. Really looks cool. Gets me that spring vibe. And with that being said, I'm going to put it in S, joining the Pirates and the rest of these teams. Very clean looking hat. Coming up next, another NL Central team, and the final NL Central team on this list is the St. Louis Cardinals. And I'm going to put their hat in B. I like it, but it's definitely not in this A tier. So, yeah, we're going to go B for the Cards. Coming your way next, we have the Tampa Bay Rays. And this gets me in the spring mood. I like the vibe. It looks like a beach color blue or like sky blue. Really cool. So I'm going to put it in A, joining the Mariners and the rest of these teams. Really cool looking hat. All right, guys, 3 teams left, and the Texas Rangers are up next. And this is similar to Philly. This kind of pops more than the Phillies looking at it now. And just because I like the white on the red, I think it pops a lot. So I'm going to put the Rangers in A. Really cool looking hat. The only thing I wish the brim was a little lighter, but it might just be the photo that I got here on this tier list. So could be that. But coming up next, we have the only Canadian MLB franchise in the league. We have the Toronto Blue Jays. And I'm going to put the Blue Jays in A. This also gets me in the spring mood. It's kind of like the Cubs hat, but I feel like the Blue Jays do it better. I just don't like the primary C being there for the Cubs. I feel like the whole logo looks better. It doesn't help if it's just a C. I mean, the Cubs suck too, so I told you I wouldn't be biased. See, if I was biased, I'd have all the NL Central teams in trash. Just saying. All right, last team, the Washington Nationals. Another red and blue hat. So I'm going to put the Nats in B. I think it's a very solid hat. And that is it for me ranking every MLB Spring Training hat. Let's go through it real quick. In the S, Wood Cop tier, we have the Rockies. In the A, we have the Diamondbacks. We have the Royals, Dodgers, Marlins, Yankees, Phillies, Pirates, Mariners, Rays, Rangers, Blue Jays. And then in B, we have B for Braves, B for Baltimore, B for Boston, C, I don't know, I'm just like naming letters, but we have the Cubs, the Guardians, the Angels, the Brew Crew, we have the Twins, we have the Giants, we have the Cardinals, and we have the Nationals. Then in C, we have the White Sox, Reds, Tigers, Astros, Mets, and Padres. And lastly in D, we have the Athletics. Trash, just like Oakland. Haha, that's right. You guys don't even have a home anymore. But that is my ranking of all 30 MLB team spring training hats. Let's get to the outro of this video so you guys can watch this and enjoy the rest of your day. All right, guys, that is it for my ranking of every MLB spring training hat for the 2026 season. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you are new so you do not miss any future upload on this channel. Have a great day, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.